Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott may be among the more underrated celebrity couples, but they live quite lavishly in Tinseltown. Fortunately, they have the means to. While some celebs have fame but no fortune, the actor and real estate expert are worth a combined $125 million. To get specific, Deschanel is said to be worth $25 million, while Jonathan's net worth reportedly sits at around $100 million. Unsurprisingly, the two, who've been engaged since August 2023, make great use of their assets between their fabulous vacations, real estate investments, and other fancy splurges. An appreciation of fashion is also one of the hallmarks of a high-end couple. And while Scott hasn't flaunted any above-average knowledge of the runway, Deschanel has never been afraid to drop cash on fashion. But before we dissect some of her splurges, consider her thoughts on the pastime. "I really enjoy shopping," she shared with Glamour. "It's cathartic and fun, and it's something to do to connect with people and find treasures." She continued, "Every day you get up, you get dressed, and you're creating something and showing the world who you are. I'm showing the world what I like by what I'm wearing. I like this color, or this is the mood I'm in." With that said, she doesn't pick clothing because it may be popular. It has to speak to her personal style. Of course, this means that Deschanel's closet is full of some really gorgeous, and sometimes expensive, pieces. One aspect of her lavish life with Scott, Zooey Deschanel spends a substantial amount of money on clothes. Amid her 2012 divorce from Ben Gibbard, Deschanel's monthly spending habits were blasted via court records obtained by TMZ, revealing just how much she put away for her necessities and non-necessities. At the time, Deschanel allocated around $2,000 a month for clothes, which may be modest by Hollywood's terms, but amounts to more than what most people spend on clothes in a year. At the time, the New Girl star was reported to have had just under $4 million in assets between her real estate and bank balance, so it's safe to assume her clothing budget is much higher now. Given her profession, her clothing allocation could easily be written off as a business expense when tax time rolls around, but hey, let's pretend. As for some of her favorite items to drop money on, well, according to Glamour, she gravitates toward Comme des Garçons branded pleated skirts, which can run upwards of $358 a pop, though they do have some variation in price. The same brand also offers a variety of other apparel, including t-shirts, button-downs, and hoodies, that will never come in at less than $100 and can often cost as much as 4 times that starting point price, depending on the retailer. Although they've yet to wed, Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott have already dropped a few million on a home together. In 2020, they spent nearly $10 million on a gorgeous 6,300 square foot mansion located in Los Angeles. Then they started tweaking things. "We spent a long time figuring out the best details to make each room special," shared the actor in the blog post on Jonathan's website. One huge project was the entryway, which underwent a major reno. "We overhauled it because we want guests to come into a space that's beautiful, warm, and welcoming," shared Deschanel. "We want them to feel happy." However, they worked hard to keep the historic home's natural charm. "At first glance, you'd think this could all be original," she added about the home's features. "That's what we're going for." Meanwhile, Scott was just as excited about tailoring their pricey purchase to their personal needs when speaking with Today that same year. It wasn't just so that he and Deschanel could enjoy it. He had much bigger plans. "We literally designed this house so that my hope is it will stay in the family forever. Our kids will take it over, and then their kids will take it over," Scott said during the interview. He also got super sentimental about his relationship with his future bride-to-be. "I waited my whole life to find Zooey, and I've now waited my whole life to have my dream home with someone like Zooey." Fortunately, the renovation process didn't put any strain on their bond, he revealed, citing their similar tastes. Jonathan Scott thought outside the box when picking out Zooey Deschanel's engagement ring. Instead of a standard diamond, Scott picked a floral-themed piece that matched Deschanel's desire for something distinct. "I didn't want just a diamond ring," shared the star during a joint People interview with her then-new fiancé. "There's just so many different beautiful gemstones. It's fun to have something different," she continued, adding, I love diamonds. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to turn down a diamond. But I like the fun colors, and I like pink and purple." Even more special, Scott remembered her preference for a special rock over a year before he proposed. Of course, that's not the only impressive aspect about this ring, given its astronomical price tag. According to varying reports, Scott spent over $40,000 for the ring, $42,900 to be exact. However, if you believe that Scott's willing to spend as much money on an engagement ring as most folks spend on their first starter home, then a different estimate may tickle your fancy. According to page 6, the ring could have cost upwards of $250,000, which definitely seems more on par with Scott's means. Just saying. Either way, having a 5- or 6-figure ring on your finger is a flex regardless of your tax bracket. Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott's engagement journey started with a luxurious European vacation. According to Deschanel, who recounted the romantic getaway on Instagram, Scott proposed while they were visiting Scotland, where his family is from. However, they also made sure to check Paris off their bucket list. Of course, she also shared photo proof of their scenic journey through Europe's most beloved tourist traps, as well as a few lesser-traveled locations. But this wasn't their first time taking a big trip as a couple. In November 2022, Jonathan and Deschanel spoke with CBS 8 about the holidays and revealed they were thinking of copying Drew Scott's recent excursion with his wife by racking up more of their own travel miles. "Yeah, Drew and Linda just had this beautiful vacation, so we're thinking we'll follow their footsteps and have this nice vacation too," he shared. Unfortunately, he didn't reveal what destination they had their hearts set on, but it's not like they couldn't travel wherever they pleased. In the meantime, they were just happy to be celebrating Christmas in the house they'd recently purchased. "It's exciting. This will be the first Christmas of Zooey and I having it at our house, so we're going to host everybody," he added. Jonathan Scott is a devoted car enthusiast who's not afraid to spend a little of his money on the car that he wants. In 2013, that was a 2013 Chrysler 300 sedan, which he paid $33,000 for, according to the Globe and Mail. And while he saved a little money buying the car in Las Vegas as opposed to Canada, where he's from, he picked the car because it reminded him of a Bentley. "I will admit one of the reasons I bought the Chrysler 300 is because it looks very elegant and has that Bentley kind of feel, especially the new one," he said during the interview, adding, "It has that mobster look to it. Living in Vegas too, driving around in a mobster-esque vehicle is cool. The one I have is fully loaded. I like to have a vehicle that's big and roomy and functional, but it also has to be elegant.